Today, Eat Like a Local. Super excited we get to talk to Ziggy Gruber, the Deli Man, bringing Kenny and Ziggy's to Houston for over 25 years. We're gonna dive into the menu, smoked fish to desserts, goulash. Yeah, let's goulash it up. Ziggy Gruber, because you've taught me so much over the years.
Really? I didn't even know.
Look, I remember I asked to learn about Jewish cuisine. You came in and basically did a tasting menu for me. There's something special about you that this city should just relish, that you decided to make Houston your home.
I'll tell you something. If you would have told me that years ago I would have ended up in Houston, I would have said you're crazy or Michigan in my language.
Yeah.
I was going to open up in Times Square with the old owner of the Carnegie, Freddie Klein. And we backed out of the deal because the lease was ridiculously terrible. And we got a phone call from a gentleman named Lenny Friedman, who had a son named Kenny. And Lenny could sell ice to Eskimos, and he talked me into coming down here. So I came down here, and I'll never forget, I came here in June. I get off the plane, it kind of hit me.
The humidity.
Oh my God. And his son Kenny was there, and I said, I don't know if I can put up with this kind of heat. And he said, oh, we're just having an unusual heat.
You're third generation.
Yes.
Deli.
My grandfather had the first delicatessen on Broadway. And then
But when did that happen?
That happened in 1927. And from there, they ended up owning, because it was all brother-in-laws and other family members, they would open up other stores. They had Burgers on 47th Street. They had Gennard's, which was on 28th and Madison. They had Gitlitz uptown. They had Wally's downtown. In Long Island, they had for 50 years called the Woodrow Kosher Deli. And my dad ended up having a place called Cresto Kosher Deli. And I'll never forget, you know, I'd be there all the time. And my grandfather one day just threw an apron at me. I was 8 years old, and he said, it's time to make a living.
Yeah.
And he started to show me how to pickle and smoke and bake. We all loved each other. We all worked together. We all went on vacation together. We worked as a unit.
You went to culinary school.
Yes.
You decided to go across the ocean.
My grandfather died when I was 15. I took it very bad, and I was going to open up a store with my cousin. My parents, like all parents, education. You can't at 15 start going on your own. That's when I went to England.
And then you ended up working in a couple of 3-star Michelin restaurants.
Yeah. I was going to go on vacation back to the States. So I went back, and my dad and uncle said, hey, would you like to go to the Deli Man's Association dinner? I said, sure. So I went there, and I look around this room, and what do I see? I see 80-year-old, 70-year-old people. I said, who is going to perpetuate this type of food? I said, you know what? This is my calling. It's always been my calling. This is what I enjoy. This is what makes me feel happy, to perpetuate the tradition.
Yeah.
And the cultural tradition of our food. So that's why.
And you've done that. This is one of the greatest restaurants in this city.
I try my best to be good for the customer, to be good for the community here in Houston, and to be good to my people. So when you say something like that, it means the world to me.
You were down the street in a restaurant that probably sat, 120, 140 people?
That one sat about just a little under 200.
And now this one,
300 seats.
300. Well, and I think if you live here in Houston, that you're so lucky, you have the counter right here.
Yes.
And if they need a pound of salmon or a pound of sablefish or a pound, like, you've got it all.
Yeah, I mean corned beef, pastrami, whatever you want.
This is literally like not only a place where I can come eat, but I can do my grocery shopping
yes,
too.
Yes, of course.
All the corned beef, all the pastrami, all the turkey, all the, like, and then just go down and be like, yeah, I need a pint, I need a pint, I need a pint, I need a pint, I need a pint. Oh, wow. I need a whole smoked fish and the best pickles out there.
We are the largest user of pickles in the U.S. We go through about 75-gallon tubs a week.
What is this?
Oh, that's spicy Moroccan dip. So we do a mabucha now. We do a whipped feta with the pistachios. We put on top of it hummus.
Walk me through.
We make all our knishes. Okay, the round potato, the spinach, the kasha, and the stuffed pop. We carry this because everyone knows this. It's synonymous with New York. Every deli does it, and that's the Gabilla Square Knish. That's one company that's all they make.
I have one question.
Kishka.
I am a big lover of this.
Right.
And I still don't really know
what's in it.
Yeah.
So kishka is like a stuffing. It has barley. Mm-hmm. It has matzo meal, flour. Then we take beef and chicken renderings, carrots, celery, garlic, onions.
It's delicious.
It is delicious. That with our gravy on it, you can't beat.
I agree with that. What's the food here that gets you going? Because your menu
it's big.
It's not small by any means.
No.
Right?
Well,
neither is the sandwich.
I like the traditional stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I love our corned beef and pastrami. Don't get me wrong, it's good. And our smoked fish is divine. But the stuff that I like are like blintzes, Hungarian goulash, and I like the Romanian steaks, and the stuffed cabbage can't be beat. And I like chicken fricassee and things like that. I mean, I like the real kashavanishkis, noodle kugel. You know, these are old dishes that I really like to do.
Which is all really funny, because I think when people think of here, right, it's a breakfast and lunch, and everything you just said to me was like later in the day.
Well, we do a decent dinner here.
I can only imagine.
And it's funny, we had to educate people when I first came here because everyone viewed a delicatessen as just a breakfast lunch place.
Yeah.
Which we have great breakfast here and we have great lunch, but people did not know that we did that stuff.
It's a sense of joy when you walk in here, whether it be through the artwork and the characters or seeing you or just your staff has been so amazing over the years. You go through more smoked fish than anybody, though.
I do. We are the largest purveyor of smoked fish in the whole Southwest. The same fish from the same company that you would get at Zabar's or Russ and Daughters or that, we all buy from the same guy. We get what's called the first pick. Everyone else gets the second.
Oh boy. All right. So what's the bite? Is it whatever you want it to be? Is that why it's like this?
Yeah, you can make it any way you want. When you taste that Nova, because it's the way we slice it,
it's delicious.
It's delicious. It's a silkiness that nobody has that.
That is about as beautiful as it can be.
Sure. You know, if I want to lose a little schmaltz, which I'm always trying to do, you know, I will order the Nova like that. I give it a gahak, I chop it up, and then I'll chop it up with the cucumbers, the onions, and the tomatoes, and then I'll just squeeze fresh lemon on it, and I'll throw some avocado in there too. And all chop it up. And
when's that going on the menu?
No. Well, it's an off-the-menu menu thing. It's Ziggy's breakfast. This is our corned beef, which we make here, and the pastrami that you saw in the steamer on the double-baked rye bread, and it's got Russian and coleslaw on it.
Oh, boy. How does one attack this?
Now, if some people can do it like that, and then you can tell the aristocratic ones, the ones that will take a knife and a fork, and they will start, you know, deconstructing and doing that. To me, I just shove it, just shove it in there.
To me, this is a quintessential deli.
Well, that is. So we cure it for 45 days.
Wait, what?
We cure it for 45 days.
So after 45 days, it comes out of cure, seasoned,
yes,
smoked, steamed.
Yep.
I don't even know where to start. All right, so walk me through this.
Okay.
You call this the what?
Okay,
the mishmash?
So you mishmash. So we got the lakshin, which is noodles, which are egg noodles. We have the matzo ball in there. We have the chicken.
Walk me through the matzo ball.
So the matzo ball is basically matzo meal, schmaltz, garlic, spices, and it's poached in a chicken broth. So it absorbs all of the liquid. and it gets nice and fluffy.
you
Okay,
call
so
this?
this is the crepe.
Crep block. Right.
We take brisket and I grind it with caramelized onions. We put it in a noodle dough and it's all handmade. And the broth is the broth.
And you cook these in that?
Yes. That's what absorbs the flavor. It makes it, it makes it happy.
All right.
Okay, these are our potato pancake. We grate the potato.
Okay.
We add, eggs to it, matzo meal, and flour. And during Passover, it's matzo meal only. Very simple, little black pepper, and away we go.
It's a pancake hash brown.
Yes.
And I could, if I wanted to, put that Nova on here.
Yes, we actually have an appetizer for that called lox and latkes.
I have a lot of problems with potatoes in my life.
Right.
This is not one of them. That's the best latke I've ever had.
Thank you.
All right, the cabbage roll is a staple.
Definitely. This is definitely one of my signatures.
And you do this as an appetizer. This is the
This is an appetizer.
This isn't a half
If you
portion.
have a dinner, it's two of those.
What?
Two side dishes.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Ziggy, come on, man.
Two of those. But again, people share it all the time. So
Okay.
it's okay. So this has got ground veal and ground beef. I do a little combination of both. It's got rice in it, and it's been stewed for about 6 hours.
I don't even need to talk about that.
You know how pecan pie can be a dessert?
Yeah.
And it can also be a side dish?
It can.
And it can be all there.
All right, so we've been sitting talking to Ziggy, learning about Jewish delis. We're going to keep going here. We're going to learn about noodle kugels. All right, so walk me through
Okay,
this.
so we got noodle kugel.
Noodle kugel.
And kugels can be, which means pudding, kugels can be savory or sweet. This happens to be a sweet one. This is the egg custard with layers of egg noodles with fruit.
Where does this lie at on the menu?
This lies as a side dish. You know what it is? It's
not overly
You
sweet.
know what this is? This is the Jewish version of pecan pie. You know how pecan pie can be a dessert?
Yeah.
And it can also be a side dish?
It can.
And it can be all there. It's kind of like that. It's all purpose.
I like where your definitions of where things lay in a menu are. Because there's no cheesecake at the end if you get this.
No, of course
Yeah,
not.
my gosh.
And we want everyone to have a piece of cheesecake, absolutely.
Right where my day is going right now.
Now, the goulash, I take chunks of the corner pieces of brisket, which is very soft and very marbled.
Yes. Well, that's in essence the burn-in.
Right. So we got paprika in here. We have, which I use sweet paprika, carrots and onions, of course.
All right. Do I go here first?
Yeah, go to the chopped liver.
Okay, let's go chop liver first.
We use chicken livers.
Yeah.
And we caramelize the onions for hours to get all the sugar out of it.
That is outstanding. Because I think outside of like Jewish cuisine, chopped liver, I think people don't really understand.
You can taste chopped liver, and it's usually like a lot of them, they're dried. They don't add enough onions to it, and the right amount of schmaltz.
How much schmaltz do you go through?
Oh my God, I go through more schmaltz than you shake the cigar.
It's in everything.
Believe me, it's like I got chickens that are liposucked.
Oh, that was the greatest line ever. All right, so basically brisket, paprika,
Yeah,
carrots, braised,
right, and it's on a bed of egg noodles.
just because of the brisket. It's so rich, it's umptious, it's soft. What are you doing? Like this, I don't know if this would be on my order
This you're gonna like. So put a little of the gravy on it.
because to me this is like stuffing.
Right. You watch. This is not so much like stuffing, but it is definitely going to be very unique for you.
Well, I love your grade.
Thank you.
That's not like stuffing.
No, I mean, the kash is light. I mean,
It's super light.
it's one of those things like the matzo ball, can be easily screwed up, but we're lucky.
That's fantastic.
Now,
All right, walk me through what a blintz is.
okay, so a blintz is basically a very light crepe,
Okay.
and it's surrounded by, stuffed with farmer's cheese. It's a very difficult, labor-intensive thing to do. Most restaurants don't make their own, they'll buy them. They can buy them through food service. But when you taste this, there's no comparison.
And then sour cream.
Applesauce. Or blueberry sauce, or today we have strawberry sauce.
What do I do?
Well, I would put a little sour cream on there.
Okay.
And I would put a little of the strawberry.
That's a good grape. That's a good filling. See, I don't even know what to say. It takes a very well-trained staff to be able to execute the easiest things perfectly.
Yeah,
you've got generational.
Oh no!
staff.
I have grandkids that are working here.
That's amazing. All right.
All right, let's get to the dessert. Boom. All right.
All right. So we've gone through not even close to 1/10 of the menu.
That's correct.
And now we are down to the final stretch. So we got cheesecake, we got the black and white cookie, a 7-layer.
Yes.
And then arugula.
Yes.
I'm gonna take this.
Yes.
I didn't grow up with this, which I'm kind of sad about now.
And the way we make rugelach, and not all rugelach are equal, we make a cream cheese, sour cream dough.
So you're adding cream cheese and sour cream into the dough to give it the texture.
Right. With that, we are grinding up walnuts. We sprinkle it in the middle. On the fruit rugelach, we add raisins to it as well, white raisins. One has a little jam on it, which is raspberry, and the other one has a little apricot. And we roll it up like a croissant shape. And then we add a little bit more cinnamon nut sugar on the top. And then for this one, we take a chocolate ganache in the middle and chocolate chips. And we basically roll that up, and then we go a little with the chocolate on the top.
That's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Again, not overly sweet.
Now, this is my grandmother's recipe. If my grandfather was around, he'd be very happy, and he'd probably eat about 50 of them.
All right, and now the significance of this is a very New York thing.
Yes, the evolution of the black and white cookie is very, very, very simple. What happened was, a lot of bakeries have a thing called Wonder Cake, which is like a drop sponge cake. What happened was, somebody had some extra batter, and these guys did not throw away anything. So what did they do? Boom, 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 boom. Put it in the oven.
So this isn't a traditional cookie batter.
No.
I had no idea. It makes me want to start baking.
Yeah.
I've always overlooked the black and white cookie. I don't know why. I don't think I'll ever overlook that again.
Put a little of that coffee on there, and it's really,
Get out of here. I literally am trying things that I've never tried before, and that's amazing to me because the amount of times that I've eaten food from here. You can eat here 365 days a year and have a different experience. That's the beauty of Kenny and Ziggy's, is that you can turn this into whatever restaurant you really want it to be. It can be breakfast, it can be lunch, it can be dinner, it can be just, like you said, a soda fountain. Now,
and that's my piece de resistance. So this was invented by my grandfather, the recipe. But this is the original recipe, and there is no better cheesecake than that.
you're right.
We're good at what we do because we've been, I've been doing this for 43 years now. So, I've been doing it personally for a long time.
Thank you for spending your afternoon.
It was a delight to have you. I always like seeing you when you're not doing the show, but I appreciate you coming in and enjoying some of the stuff. And I am so glad that you got to eat things that you never ate before.
People can come in here, they know they're gonna get a good sandwich, a good deli meat sandwich, right? It's all of the intangibles that you have managed to perfect and make amazing.
Thank you. Well, I'm
The city
glad.
owes you a debt of gratitude, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for not going back to New York. Thank you for staying here with us. All right, so what to order at Kenny and Ziggy's? Get the chopped liver, a perfect example of what that dish should be. Also, the Nova, nobody cuts salmon better. The matzo ball soup. Grab a sandwich with the pastrami, the corned beef, both are fantastic options. The beef goulash, then desserts, the New York style cheesecake. That was magical. Ziggy is a mythical, magical human being. He has created something for everybody. And it's special because it's here in Houston. Up next, you know what time it is. As we've talked about today, the Jewish deli, we spent a lot of time with Ziggy over at Kenny and Ziggy's, and rightfully so. He has taught me so much about the Jewish cuisine that I don't think many people could do that. And we got a good taste of that today. And it's much more than the bagel, the lox, the pastrami. It's all of these different things that are on these menus. You know what? New York Deli, just over here off of Hillcroft, perfect as well. Great breakfast. I came in one day, had some salami and eggs. Beautiful. Now I got a bagel, breakfast. I mean, what else can you ask for? Right? It's an introduction to learn more. And I think that with this season of Eat Like a Local, that's what it is for me, is I'm wanting to learn more and more about our city and the people that live here through the foodways that they've grown up with. It doesn't work if we don't do this together. So I'll see you out there at the deli, yeah?
I watch you on YouTube.
Thank you very much.
He thought he was going to get in trouble.
I said, you're gonna get in trouble.
No. Lunchtime.
It's a beautiful city and I don't think I'll ever leave it.
No.
It
I know.
embraces it.
I know. I'm not. I got a cemetery plot here. You're good.
So we want to know where you're eating, where you're drinking. Let us know. Hit us up on Instagram. Eat Like a Local TX. Tell us where you're at. Tell us what your local is.